Hello and welcome to Post, the channel where we discuss all things hockey and all teams. We're back for another Fan Friday, and this is a series where you, the fan at home, hockey fan at home, gets to interact with us a bit. We ask a question each week, you answer in the comments, and then the following week we read your answers on camera and ask a new question. And
we just did Fan Friday.
We just did it, yeah. 7 days ago.
I can't believe that the weeks go that fast.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Crazy.
So this week's question, next week's answers will be at the end of this video, or next week's questions at the end of this video. So we have a few things here before we get into it. We have some Tim Hortons hockey cards. We're going to open these at the end of this episode. So if you like hockey card unboxings or on whatever's, stick around to the end. There's 87 signed Sidney Crosby cards.
In the set that's being distributed all across Canada.
Never know.
Excuse me, you never know.
Never know. So there's only 10 comments. Just want to make this video a little shorter this week. We have a lot to film after this video coming up. The contest, there's a lot of questions. When's it going to be announced? It's going to be announced on Sunday. We're over, I don't even know, 271 official entries. There were a lot of disqualifications. It's tough. There was a lot of great entries, so we have our work cut out for us as far as judging and ranking.
Yeah.
So let's go through these comments. The question last week was, what team is going to win the Stanley Cup this year and why?
All right.
So it's a big question. It's a big prediction, and you guys left your predictions in the comments. So let's get into them, and I'll have you read them if you don't mind.
Sure. Hockey Channel writes, the Pittsburgh Penguins because they have the best rounded team. They got Malcolm, Kessel, Crosby, Letang, Murray, and so much more. And they have won back-to-back Stanley Cups, so their confidence will be high. Also, last year, the Penguins won the Stanley Cup without their all-star defenseman, Letang. So if he stays healthy, they will be a much bigger threat. Also, if Crosby, Malcolm, Letang, and Murray are able to play a full season, who knows what will happen? But all I know for sure is that I
don't know, it cut off. I don't know why, but whatever he was saying there was good. He was on a rhyme, and it was a good rhyme.
I think he's going for Pittsburgh.
I think this isn't about what you're going for.
It's not going for it, but I think that's his prediction. Yeah.
I like it, though. He's right. If they all stay healthy, and specifically Letang, if he stays healthy, Pittsburgh's going to be really competitive.
Yeah. Michael Amaro says, Anaheim will win the Cup. They have strong center depth, which you will need to win the Cup. I think Rickard Rakell will have a very strong season. They have a very solid defense core. It sucks that they won't have Ryan Kessler until Christmas, but since they have a much stronger center depth, they will be fine. John Gibson is a very solid goalie, and they have Ryan Miller, who could be a starter in a few other teams. Anaheim has a complete team, and that is why they will win the Stanley Cup.
It's a pretty good prediction.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me if they did win.
Yeah. And now Trevor Garrett says, I think the Edmonton Oilers will win the Stanley Cup, assuming the team stays healthy. I think they will win because I see all of their main core players getting better. I also think adding Ryan Strome was a great addition to the team, and I think he will work well with McDavid. The Oilers also have some good young guys like Yamamoto and Puljujarvi, who have had a great preseason, and will hopefully be on the final roster and make an impact. I think they will play Pittsburgh in the finals and win in 7.
Ooh.
And that's not his favorite team. He says, my favorite team's Winnipeg, but he's picking Edmonton.
Bold prediction. So he's right. Young guys like Yamamoto, Puljujarvi. I believe they sent Puljujarvi down. Maybe he's just not quite ready, I don't think. But Yamamoto, I am so high in this kid. I love what he brings. I was excited for the draft because I want to know where he was going to go. And I think Edmonton got a complete steal with drafting him. And he's very underrated. Not a lot of people know about him.
Yeah, he's a great story,
too. Great story.
I
don't know if he's going to work out fully this season. He's going to get a few games in. He had a few giveaways last night, so I think the coach gave him some time on the bench for those. But he's really talented. He's fast.
Right on. Next we have Zach Scholar. He says, yes, I'm a Pittsburgh Penguins fan, and obviously I know it would be cool to see them three-peat, but sadly I do not think it will happen. They lost a lot of key players, and the only guy they brought in is Ryan Reeves. So I think the St. Louis Blues will win the Cup. They have a great team that's ready to win now. Jake Allen showed that he is easily able to be a star goaltender. They have great defensemen in Pietrangelo, Parayko, and Bouwmeester, and they have great forwards like Tarasenko and Steen, and I think it is their year. A lot of teams that previously beat them in the West, like LA, Chicago, and Anaheim, have started to decline, which makes their main threat the Preds and Wild. Sadly, I do not think the Wild can hold them back, and I feel like the Preds won't have the same luck that they had last year. So I think they are going to beat the Pens or Leafs in the playoffs. Ovechkin will never make it past the second round.
Zach, my heart.
Feels.
Yeah, poor Ovechkin. That's an interesting prediction, though. So
it is.
He's kind of right. Some of those teams are on a bit of a decline, so maybe St. Louis has that little bit of a window just to sneak in there.
Mm-hmm. Next we have T-Money TCG. I think that the Sharks are going to win their first Stanley Cup because they're bound to have another good run like they did, except actually finishing it off. But if I had a non-biased opinion, I think the Washington, because they're looking like they are going to be a hardcore competitor this year.
So we have someone with some faith in Washington.
Yeah. And we have Hipped Hail 99272. I think Chicago can win the Cup as they have Patrick Kane. However, I will say that he is getting old. And the runner-up will be Buffalo, because why not? Also, Buffalo is my second team. Oh, yeah. Go Chicago. Boo Montreal. LOL.
I didn't know Patrick Kane was old.
Well,
I think he's only like 27, 28.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Old is, it's all very subjective, isn't it? It's all depends what you're talking about.
Buffalo, a runner-up. I don't know if Buffalo's going to make the finals, but if they did, that would be an exciting run to cheer for.
Hip tail, if you put money on Buffalo and it comes through, you're going to be a gagillionaire.
Yeah.
Yeah. All righty. And Wolfenfan23 says, I want to say the Washington Capitals. It would make sense now, considering the fact that Pittsburgh has been scalped for a lot of its talent in the expansion draft, losing Marc-Andre Fleury and a couple of other key players to trades. Plus, I would hate to see Alexander Ovechkin be one of the few great players who have never won a Stanley Cup. And if not win the Stanley Cup, at least make it to the final. I'd like to see the Wings win, but I feel that they're in the middle of a rebuild phase.
Kind of has the same opinion as me. He's got to win it. He's got to at least make it to the finals. How can he not? It's time, Alexander Ovechkin. Get her done.
Lindsay A. says, Blues will finally win their first cup. I think this year they can carry their momentum into the playoffs. They've got insane talent in guys like Tarasenko and Pietrangelo.
Lots of faith in St. Louis here.
Yeah, really. St. Louis Blues fan 10 writes, my prediction is it's going to be the Blues versus Washington, and the Blues win in 6. I'm not saying it because I'm a Blues fan, because the Blues or the Capitals are finally going to break the curse like the Cubs did last year in baseball. Ovechkin is going to lead the Capitals because he knows the Capitals are going to try to get rid of him if he does not win them a cup or go to the Cup finals. Backstrom will help out in the assist like normal, but Holtby is going to have a Vezina candidate year like the past couple. But the Penguins will not over-dominate him like they have before. The Blues are going to be led by a Maurice Richard winning Tarasenko with 50-plus goals, and Braden Shen will have a great first season with the Blues and eventually be the top centerman. Centerman for the Blues. Stastny and Pietrangelo will have an even better than last season, but the Blues might have to acquire a good winger with the loss of Robbie Fabry for the season. And Steen being hurt now and might be through the first couple of games or more. Allen, one of Neil's favorites, will have a career season and will also be a Vezina candidate. Colton Parayko will have an all-star year and will push Shea Weber to his limits in the hardest shot competition and might even win, who knows. But both teams are going to have great years, but if the Blues win, I'm going to cry. So many tears of joy.
Whew.
It's been a long time for St. Louis. It's been forever.
It's been
50
a long
years
time.
In existence and no cup yet.
It's crazy.
And they've come close. Close.
It's
closer some years than others.
It's wild that a team can go that long without winning. But then you see it in baseball, you see it in all kinds of sports. So.
Yeah, it does happen, but eventually the pendulum has to swing.
Yep.
And of course, we postulated a couple of days ago that maybe Yager might sign with the Blues because of the Fabry injury. Later the same damn day that we made that video, of course, he announced with Calgary.
Yeah, it's too late to refilm.
Where she's in the hopper. Joel Longston says, Tampa Bay, they have the top scoring center in Steven Stamkos, assuming he's healthy. They have one of the best Russians in Nikita Kucherov. They have the top 3 defensemen in Victor Hedman. They have one of the best offenses in the league, and their defense is decent. This is all with the genius known as Steve Yzerman, keeping them within the cap salary. Their one weakness is in Andrei Vasilevsky, who is still getting better. the way I see it, they're a shoo-in to win.
Well, Tampa Bay, if they can stay healthy, they're gonna make the playoffs. Like if they're healthy, they're gonna make the playoffs. It's almost a guarantee.
You can almost say that for every team, you know.
Really?
Well, not every team, but the teams that get in have to stay healthy.
Oh yeah,
definitely. Like it's going to be hard. Like Pittsburgh broke the rule last year.
They did.
You know, with Letang out, and in previous years when Crosby's been out for a long period of time, Pittsburgh still done well.
Malkin steps up.
Yeah, Malkin steps up and actually plays better.
Yeah, when it's Malkin's stats when Crosby's gone are through the roof.
So, you know, some teams can overcome some injuries. Tampa Bay's not one of them. If Stamkos is hurt, I think that's
and if he gets hurt again, will he have to consider retiring? Because he's had 3 serious injuries before. I don't know. I feel bad for the guy. I like him, but
yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, ATL Sports Chat says the Bolts, not only because I'm a fan, but most, if not all of our injured key players are healthy. Sure, Bish may be gone, but Vasilevsky is really solid Tendy. Solid Tendy. And our 2 big additions, Girardi and Kunitz, have not only experience, but experience on winning teams. Finally, our power play is lethal. As a little extra, I say we beat Edmonton in the finals. Sorry, Oilers fan.
Took his prediction a little further there.
Ooh.
So some pretty good predictions here. Great to hear from you guys. Really appreciate it. It's always fun going through the comments and seeing how other people feel about certain situations. And this week's question is going to be, what team, if they don't win the Stanley Cup this year, they're either going to get blown up or they're going to have cap issues next year. Basically, what team needs to win this year?
Yeah.
It's not what team is going to win this year, like because they're good. What team needs to win this year?
Yeah. What team has thrown all their eggs in the basket and they have to deliver? Because next year it's curtains.
For example, Toronto, not saying that they could be on the list, but they could be on the list. Nylander has a new contract potentially next year. Will he get traded? Will he stay? If they sign him, they have to worry about signing Matthews and Marner next year. And then there's Zaitsev. And plus they have Marlowe. There's a lot of, they could be tight against the cap there. There's a lot of issues there. And there's teams in similar situations. So I'm curious what you guys think about this. What team needs to win this year? And it doesn't have to be with the cap. It could be Washington with Ovechkin. If he doesn't win this year, maybe he gets traded. Who knows? Basically, what team needs to get it done this year or it's trouble?
Great question.
Yeah, so that wraps up the Fan Friday portion. Think we can open these now?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
All right, so we've got...
This is my first time being at a card opening event.
It is.
I've not opened or
you
even
can be
watched.
my official card displayer when I hand them to you.
I'll be the Vanna White of the cards.
So there's 6 packs of Tim Hortons hockey cards here. 3 cards in each pack. Not a sponsor, but just for fun.
For American and worldwide viewers, Tim Hortons is a large coffee and donut chain in Canada.
Yes.
And they have partnered with the NHL over many years. And Sidney Crosby is one of their main spokespeople.
He sure is.
So he's in a lot of their ads.
Now, I've already opened up a bunch of packs already. And I want to show you the cards I did get. They're really nice. They're a lot nicer than I thought they're going to be. Upper Deck, they've partnered with Upper Deck here. And so I've got Corey Perry, Thomas Greiss. They're really shiny, and it has a bevel to it around the player, which is really nice. David Pasternak, Nikolai Ehlers, Michael Granlund, Eric Stahl, Phil Kessel, Vincent Trocheck, Kyle Palmieri, and Jaden Schwartz. And it looks to be in each pack you get a card that's nicer than the other 2. So this is like a game day action card. It's got Tyler Seguin on it. It's got like a fake ticket. You can see your seat section and stuff. I actually got 2 of them. I'll be giving one of those away eventually. I got a Bo Horvat version. I'd get this 3D one here that moves.
Oh, yeah.
We change it. McDonald's used to have cards like this back in the day. And then I got this really nice Hendrik Sedin card that has a bit of a gold foil on it.
Cool.
So I just opened this pack. I got David Pasternak. That's a duplicate.
Yep.
And I got a Mark Scheifele with the gold foil on it, just like that Sedin one. That's very nice. Cool. And Jaden Schwartz, another duplicate. I'll be giving all of my duplicates away, actually. And here I got Dougie Hamilton.
Nice.
Ooh, and a Connor McDavid
Transparent.
clear cut
Wow.
card. That's really nice. Phenoms.
Nice.
That's really nice.
Hold it carefully.
And a Nikolai Ehlers card. Again.
Clear cut evidence. That is very nice. And I see they have the Tim Hortons stamp on them, so these are made especially for Tim
Oh
Hortons.
yeah, you can
by
only
Upper
have
Deck.
Tim Hortons.
So
Yep.
these aren't just cards that made it into a pack. These are specially
Absolutely.
cool.
I got in this pack Blake Wheeler.
Very nice.
I got the same card again, this game day card of Tyler Seguin. So
Okay.
and Dustin Byfuglien.
Oh, nice.
Lots of Jets here.
Yeah. I bought most of these packs getting my coffee,
He's just been bringing them home.
bringing them home, going to work.
Got Max Pacioretty.
Ooh.
Sorry, wrong pile.
Let's see that.
Ooh, and we got an actual Tim Horton top 100 card.
Yeah, I guess we never explained that. Tim Horton was, we call it Tim Hortons, and most younger people just know Tim Hortons from, it's where you go to get a donut and a
Yeah,
coffee.
Tim Horton was an amazing
Tim Horton was a hockey
player.
player,
Yeah.
and he started the franchise back in the 60s.
That's awesome. And then a Devin Dubnyk card.
Very, very nice.
2 more packs to go. Ooh, we got a Nicholas Backstrom card. And an Alexander Ovechkin game day card.
Ooh.
And then a Frederick Anderson.
Ooh. Last pack. Will we find an 87 autograph card?
And I will be sending some of these unopened, obviously, some of these packages of cards out as prizes for the contest. There's a few different prizes going out. And some of those packs will be going out to those people. So the people in the States who can't get these cards will be able to get something unique.
Ah, very nice
Got a
touch.
Chris Kreider card there.
Not touching that one.
Ooh, and another clear cut Dylan Larkin
Oh, yeah.
card. That's really nice.
That's very nice.
And then a regular Alexander Ovechkin card.
Cool.
So again, some pretty great cards here, quality wise. They're made by Upper Deck. They are awesome, and I plan to get more, and I plan to give some away. So thank you guys very much for sticking around. If you made it this long, I appreciate it. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you're new to this channel, hit the subscribe button, and make sure you leave your answers down below to this week's question. And we'll go over the answers next week, and we'll see you then. Adios.